Every morning, the world doesn't wait to ask how you feel, it comes straight for you. It doesn't check if you're rested or mentally prepared. It just begins. The noise is already there. Opinions, expectations, deadlines, people running late, others disappointing you, emotions flaring up from places you didn't even intend to go. That's why you don't wake up hoping for peace, you wake up ready to create it. Before you deal with anything external, there are 5 essential truths you must remind yourself of daily. Not to pump yourself up, not to chase motivation, but to remain anchored in a mindset that doesn't crumble every time life gets difficult. You have to shape your inner world before the outside world shapes you. You need a mindset more solid than fleeting emotions. That's the essence of Stoicism. It teaches you that strength isn't about getting what you want, it's about how you respond when you don't. Here's the first truth: no one owes you a thing. It might sound a little harsh, even unfriendly, but it's one of the most liberating truths you'll ever learn. You're not entitled to respect. You're not entitled to kindness or empathy. People are not required to treat you the way you wish they would. But this realization isn't a reason to be jaded, it's a doorway to inner freedom. Because once you stop expecting the world to behave a certain way, you stop letting other people's behavior steal your peace. You stop entering situations hoping for approval. You stop being shocked when people disappoint you, because now you understand, they were never obligated to meet your expectations in the first place. So instead of reacting to everything, you remain composed. You stop taking things so personally. You're no longer thrown off by someone else's inconsistency. You begin to understand how the world works, and that gives you power. Calm power. Now comes the second truth. I don't control anyone else. I only control myself. There is nothing more draining than trying to manage how other people feel, decide, or behave. It's exhausting to spend your energy trying to solve problems that were never yours to begin with. This is where people waste themselves, trying to fix someone who doesn't want to change. Trying to be heard by someone who doesn't care to listen. Trying to earn value from someone who's already made up their mind. That's how you burn out. That's how you stay trapped in endless cycles. But once you truly accept that your influence stops where your own actions end, life gets simpler. You stop trying to change others. You start working on how you show up. You stop chasing approval and focus on acting in a way that aligns with your self-respect. It's not about indifference. It's about releasing control. And that's where peace begins. The third truth you must carry with you: emotions are not commands. They are not orders you must obey. You will feel many things, sometimes without reason. There will be mornings when you wake up exhausted for no clear cause. There will be hours when irritation simmers just beneath the surface. Moments when anger flashes, anxiety creeps in, or doubt clouds your thoughts. That's part of being human. What becomes dangerous, though, is when you start treating every emotion as if it deserves a reaction. Stoicism doesn't ask you to deny your feelings. It asks you to master them, to let them rise and pass without allowing them to drag you off your path. The philosopher Epictetus put it plainly: if someone provokes you and you lose control, your mind has agreed to the provocation. That means you have a choice. You can experience anger without becoming consumed by it. You can carry sorrow without drowning in it. You can feel the temptation to lash out and still choose silence. That's real strength. Not in shouting louder than others, but in knowing you could, and still choosing quiet. Most people are ruled by their emotions. You don't have to be. You're not obligated to chase every thought. You don't need to answer every insult. Discipline begins when you can stop, breathe, think, and respond with purpose, not impulse. Now remind yourself of this: not everything deserves your attention. In today's world, there's a trap, a belief that every disagreement demands your reply, every comment needs a comeback, every opposing view deserves your energy. But true strength lies in discernment. You don't engage every conflict. You don't argue every opinion. You don't show up for every drama. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And when you react to every minor issue, that's exactly what happens. You imagine offense where there was none. You imagine disrespect and silence where peace could have lived. Sometimes, silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's refusing to let trivial things drain your emotional resources. You don't owe your energy to everything and everyone. It's not your job to explain yourself to people determined to misunderstand you. Your real job? Guard your focus. Protect your mental clarity. Stay present. There are people who thrive off your reaction more than they care about the truth. Don't give them what they want. Stay distant from drama. Remain inaccessible to chaos. And finally, say this to yourself: I am responsible for my attitude. Not the weather. Not the headlines. Not the traffic. Not a rude stranger. You. Your mindset is your responsibility. Your reaction is your power. It's easy to say, I'm in a bad mood because... But the truth is, your mood is not a mystery, it's a habit. A pattern. And habits can be trained. This isn't about fake positivity. It's about real accountability. It's about choosing the emotional tone you bring into every situation. Especially when nothing's going your way. When circumstances fall apart, you don't. When your plans get disrupted, your focus doesn't unravel. That's what separates those who react from those who remain resilient. You don't wait for calm to feel centered, you bring calm into the storm. You show up with discipline. You stay sharp no matter what life throws at you. That's how a grounded person moves, not by chasing control, but by mastering their response to chaos. These 5 truths aren't just reminders. They're anchors, solid, immovable. They hold your mind steady when the world tries to pull it in every direction. And if you shape your mindset around them, you become something rare. In a time when most people are loud, scattered, and emotionally unstable, you become the opposite: calm, rooted, and intentional. You become someone who responds instead of reacts. Someone who acts with purpose instead of chasing approval. Someone who can be trusted in pressure because they've trained their mind to remain still. This is what Stoicism really teaches. Not withdrawal from the world, but engagement from a stronger position. It's not about running from emotion, but understanding it so deeply that it no longer runs you. It's not about suppressing your nature, it's about elevating it. Turning instinct into wisdom. Turning moments of chaos into training. It's about presence, not passivity. Strength, not force. Focus, not control. You don't need to shout to prove you're powerful. You don't need to fight to show you're strong. You just need to move through your day anchored in something deeper than distraction, something no one can give you and no one can take away. That's what these principles create. Internal order. Emotional discipline. Self-command. And that's what makes a man, or a woman, unshakable. Because when your strength comes from within, you don't depend on perfect circumstances to function. You don't need external permission to act. You carry your peace with you. You carry your clarity, your purpose, your boundaries. So make these truths part of you. Repeat them until they're not something you have to recall, they're something you live. No one owes me anything. I only control myself. My emotions are not my instructions. My energy is sacred. My attitude is my responsibility. Say them quietly. Say them often. Say them especially on the days you want to abandon them. Because those are the days they're needed most. When this becomes your default operating system, when this way of thinking replaces reactivity, something powerful happens. You stop being easy to shake. People will try, and they'll fail. Situations will rise, and you'll remain. Because your footing won't depend on what's around you, it'll depend on what's built inside. And that's where your power lives. That's how you protect it. Not with noise, but with stillness. Not with force, but with command. Not with control over the world, but with mastery over yourself. That's how you rise. That's how you lead. That's how you become the kind of person this world rarely sees. This is the mindset of Rase Up. And this is how you live it, every single day.